very happy to welcome you in the house of Saint Faustina, where she lived in Vilnius in 1929 for 3 months, and from 1933 to 36, so 3 years in total. But here in this place, she had 80 visions of Jesus, which are proved by the church, which means that they are really credible. And in this place, she received the Chaplet of Mercy, which is now known nowadays all around the world. In 1935, in the evening of 13th September, just in this place, really. And then Jesus asked her to paint the painting of Divine Mercy, also in this place, and she prayed here, absolutely. Then we have this Feast of Divine Mercy, which was also celebrated unofficially for the first time in Vilnius in 1935, where this painting of Divine Mercy was just publicly exposed for the first time at the Gate of Dawn, where we have Mother of Mercy, Virgin Mary, Mother of Mercy. So this is a very special place, actually. I am standing just in the place where the bed of Saint Faustina was. And we know this fact because the sisters were forced to leave from this place during Soviet occupation. In 1946, they left for Poland. But after Lithuania regained its independence in 1991, so they came back and just told everything that the bed of Saint Faustina was here. Actually, she just shared this room with another sister. There was just a sheet, a blanket, which separated them, so you could hear everything, and she had little privacy, actually. We can see that there is one door over there, one door over here, so which means that other sisters passed by. And, in total, there were 18 sisters that lived in this house. There were several other houses which were destroyed during Soviet times. There was a chapel near the street, several other houses to take care of 70 or even 80 women, ex-prisoners, ex-prostitutes, or just orphans. That was the mission of the sisters here. And Sister Faustina, she was a very ordinary, very simple sister. She took care of kitchen and garden. And there was a garden built behind the house, which was rather large. She wasn't a professional gardener, but even some noble women came one day and they were surprised that this garden was kept very, very well, and asked, what professional does do the work for you? And it was just Saint Faustina, helped by Jesus. She wasn't very educated because she finished just 3 years of school. She couldn't afford, her family couldn't afford more. Afterwards, she entered the convent. And when we read her diary, which was started to be written also here in Vilnius, it was her spiritual director, Blessed Father Michal Sopochko, who encouraged her, and here she started just writing the things. And once she was, almost convinced by a demon angel to burn it, and probably this was the place where she burned it because it's the closest to her bed. We never know it for sure, but still. So then, in the diary, we can clearly see that she had this gift of the Holy Spirit, of theological knowledge inside of her, because she finished just 3 years of ordinary school, but she writes very strong, very deep theological things, which were later discussed by theologians, and her spiritual director, Father Sopochko, he was a professor in the seminary, and he himself had to check if the facts that she writes are correct, if they are right. And yes, when he examined, he found out that it was really okay. But Sister Faustina, she had this inner knowledge and a very, very strong bond with Jesus. So this diary is really a very important book about her. What else? No, probably you have some questions, so I could just... And during Soviet times, so for 50 years almost, it was an orphanage established by the state. So it was a storage house here, and some employees who used to sleep here when they came, not from Vilnius, but from some outskirts. And they used to say that they could never make parties here. When you come to sleep, you would to make some noise, something, but there was something that stopped them. So even then, people could feel that there was something special about this place, even it was, even it was empty and so on. And from this place, Sister Faustina, when her spiritual director, Father Sopochko, he found a painter who would paint the painting of Divine Mercy, because she tried to paint herself, she couldn't succeed. Then she asked some sisters, they couldn't succeed either, she didn't know what to do. So it was Father Sopochko who helped her. He found a painter, and Sister Faustina, from this place, she went once or twice a week for several months to this painter, 3 or 4 kilometers away from here, just to explain all the details, how Jesus looked like, and the hand was like that, and everything. And Blessed Father Sopochko, he was posing for this painting himself, and that's why we can see a masculine, figure in this painting as well. And probably, the hands and the feet are like those of Father Sopochko. When Sister Faustina, she saw the painting for the first time, she cried because it wasn't as beautiful as she saw Jesus. And who could paint Jesus, you as beautiful as you are? But when you approach this painting, and in the next room we have the painting of original size, when you come close to the eyes of Jesus, you can really see how full of mercy, of care, of love they are, and it really moves me a lot. And it's also almost a miracle, but the Shroud of Turin, which is, this stamp, this image of resurrected Jesus, it corresponds absolutely, the dimensions, everything, to this picture. So it's really incredible. And I think we are blessed to be in this place, and really...
Thank you.
So the original painting, is it just behind the other door?
It's only the original size, and original painting now is in the Sanctuary of Divine Mercy in the altar of Vilnius. If you haven't been, so definitely go. It's Street Dominicona 12. It's a very small sanctuary, all white, and it was the one that Father Sopochko worked in 1946, I think, and they closed it in 1947. Then Father Sopochko, he also left for Poland, but it was him who, it was the last one to close the door of this small church, and he always had a dream to build a sanctuary for Divine Mercy. In Vilnius, he had already chosen a place, bought some building materials from his own money, and he already agreed with the municipality, with the diocese, and everything was set up. But in 1939, and then the Second World War broke out, and they took all the materials away, and he couldn't build it. When he went to Poland, to Białystok, he wanted to build again the Sanctuary of Divine Mercy, but he did not succeed. So it was kind of a dream of his lifetime, and he did not succeed, never. And it's really a very good example how our time is not God's time. And God does everything in His perfect timing. Because in the small church, where now we have the original image, and where Father Sopochko closed his door before it was closed for Soviet occupation, after 70 years, without any effort, unless the intercession of Blessed Father Sopochko, it was opened by Cardinal of Vilnius, a small sanctuary for veneration of this very original image and for the Divine Mercy. So, and when you read the diary of Saint Faustina, you can also find a citation of a small chapel or church, all white. And when you enter, you can see that, yeah, it corresponds. I mean, it's to her vision. And it's really incredible how God, He uses everything, how He does everything. Here we have the relics. So a small, very small bone from Saint Faustina's ankle. And then we have a small bone of Blessed Father Sopochko, his stole, yes, his box and his rosary, so we can really almost touch him. Saint Faustina, she died before the Second World War, so she didn't face the persecution. But Father Sopochko, he was persecuted by the Soviets, and he was hiding himself near Vilnius in a village of Yochimi, and so he did not exercise his duties of priest officially. So, but advised some sisters, just all in secret. He was like doing some woodwork, to protect himself, to give another identity. And I think it was 1.5 years that he had to hide himself, not to be killed and everything like that. So, And to mention that Sister Faustina, she was a very good cook actually. She was perfect in the kitchen, and when they had Archbishop to be coming or some other very honorable guests, they invited Sister Faustina to make cakes. She was an excellent cook. She even decorated cakes very well, and she was very happy when she could treat somebody with some good food, good cakes and everything. There were sisters postulants even who told that she really had a very merciful heart, and when they did not succeed, with food cooking, so it was Sister Faustina who covered them and did some food, very quickly and very well. And then, but she did this in secret, and then those postulant sisters, they received some praise from their master sister, but they did not tell anything that it was Sister Faustina who did it. And now we have diaries, so translated into many, many languages. It's only several of them. It's German, French, English, Polish, of course, the original language, then Spanish, Belarusian, and Lithuanian. So it's 7 languages, but of course there are many, many more. Here we have some bed. It's not the bed of Saint Faustina. It comes from museum. It's just to show what it could look like, because it comes from the same time. So.
Okay.
The stuff here, the door, the floor, it's all original from the times of Saint Faustina. So it's really kind of, a certain relic as well.
Okay.
Here are the rooms where just sisters used to live. So, and here we have this image which makes the original size. I can stand, just beside, so you could see that it's really human size. And I really advise you, if you have an opportunity, to come closer and to look into the eyes of Jesus. It really transmits so much love, so much care, that it's really kind of fire of love. So we could be touched in our hearts by this love, by this grace, and let our hearts be transformed, really. And in this room now we have an exposition of an artist, Vaidotas Klašys, who lives nearby. He has 9 children in his family, and he is also very touched by this message of divine mercy by Saint Faustina. So he made some images, according to her diary, of the places in Vilnius, also some scenes, some mystic visions of Saint Faustina, how he could just interpret that. And you can see that in the times of Saint Faustina, of course, it was heated by wooden fire. All this fireplace with some, and here they could put in some food to cook and to heat.
It's like an oven.
Yes, it's really like a grandmother. And when you come here, I don't know if you feel like that, but you can feel like very accepted, like at your grandmother's house. Really, you feel a lot of love all around you. this room, now we have a small shop, but actually it used to be 4 small rooms and 4 sisters lived here. So they were all subnet, and now we have 4 electricity switchers all separate. So it was small rooms just for the sisters to live. And here we have the Mother of Mercy from the Gate of Dawn in Vilnius. And I like also very much some story about this picture, which is venerated in Vilnius in Lithuania since 17th century. It's in the balcony in the wall of the city of Vilnius. So you can climb upstairs and pray. There are really a lot of ex-votos. And in 1927, this painting received a crown from Pope Pius XI, and he gave her the title Mother of Mercy. And actually, Sister Faustina, she comes to Vilnius after 2 years. And in 8 years, we have this image of Divine Mercy exposed at the gates of Dawn, where Pope Pius XI have proclaimed it to be Mother of Mercy, 8 years ago. I don't know, it's incredible how Holy Spirit, it really works, and the Pope is really anointed by the Holy Spirit just to, precede the coming of this image. So 8 years before, just giving this title, the crown to her as a Mother of Mercy. So really, Vilnius is a city of mercy, and there are a lot of so many places just related in some way. So really let God us keep with His mercy, especially during these days.
Little Jerusalem.
His mercy and really do His miracles. And please pray with us, for us. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
we will.